All right, let's judge the Minnesota State Fair. So we're going to pick just some random ones and you'll have to judge. Does it work in the terms of compositionally? Is it interesting to you? And then two, does it make you think? Those are the two categories you're going to judge on. You can just assume that it qualified as seed because these all have to be made from seeds that are used for crops. They already did that. We can start here with this one, Trans Love and Joy, cannot be censored. Married State Fair wedding. So one of the things I would notice about it is I think that they do a really good job with putting text out of seeds. I think that's great. The other thing I would notice is how they use that angled text, that whenever you put something at an angle, it'll make you look again. I will say censored is a little hard to read. It kind of blends in with the background. I'm guessing there's no bright red seeds. So here is somebody from the Class 5 Amateur, Resist Fascism. Some of the things I notice are that it's not on a square, so it's in like a non-rectangular format, which actually draws your eye to all the negative space. I think that's very positive for this. I also like how the lettering looks like it's part of his clothing. I think he also does a really good job getting the lines in the face, as well as the carving of the wood on the chair. This sucks. Also an amateur, that means that they aren't a professional artist. One thing I think that's really interesting about text art is that it can be boring, but artists have to find a way to make it work. And in this case, I think centering the text really helped, also using all caps. This one is called Seed for Speed. One thing that I noticed is they did a really good job with making the face seem dimensional with the different shades of shadow. And then the fire looks like a silo exploded and that bus is coming out of corn. Blow it back. This one I think is a very interesting composition in that you have a fan instead of, say, a fireman. And the fires, I think compositionally also you have a lot of excitement because you have the angles of the smoke. Seeds of Change. This is taking something that's very common in our society. We all have seen probably the Van Gogh that this was part of, and then they add a very clear symbol, the flag. This one, I'm almost positive this is an amateur, comes from a political cartoon, and one of the things I think they did really well was lay in these seeds. I am not a seed aficionado. Somebody can tell me what it is. Now this one, I think one of the strengths of it is how beautifully colored it is. I think they did a really good job of compositionally finding colors that resonate. I do think, however, that means that the text doesn't stick out quite as much. What do you think?